Markets in 3 minutes. Recession fears looming. We see somehow stock markets moving lower. The S&P weakening, the Nasdaq weakening, the DAX still holding up quite tight. But when looking at the Forex market, we see something remarkable. The dollar against the Japanese yen. Is the Japanese yen again back towards its safe haven status? Potentially, we might say. The market has been weakening on the back, obviously, of a weakening US dollar. And on the weekly chart, that's exactly what we capitalize on. So weakness here, technical pin bar candlestick off the weekly chart, and now potentially ready to celebrate downside motivation, and the markets might be reshuffled at these upcoming 2 support levels. However, it's still a couple of 100 pips back to the downside, which might be of indication for us to potentially start kind of thinking about taking profits off those markets. Nevertheless, the oil market is also kind of giving us some headache in a way. At least if you are in the long side of things, then it might give you some sort of a headache. We are in short positions, and we said early on, when the market is going to tag this and test this vacuum area, we have not tested and traded in that range, and that's quite a big one all the way to the downside. Let's start with the initial one all the way here towards the, say, $50 level, where we are still quite far away. The weakness might intensify. Market moving lower last month. The market is now in retracement mode, moving somehow to the upside. Recession story again, guys. Could call for some weakness in this oil market, and we've seen this in the recent couple of trading days somewhat. Weaker momentum, retracement to the upside, weakening trend, the market pushing higher again. And right now, yesterday, our subscribers and me talked about it, Frank. We have tested the 50 moving average and have broken off that zone, and that's reason enough for us to say, ooh, market might be ready for another free fall. So get tuned, stay tuned for some downside motivation here in this oil market. And now, last but not least, our third asset is obviously gold. Gold prices have actually started to weaken as well. And what's happening quite often, everything which has kind of been positively behaving is going to be sold, and that's not any difference with the gold price and why the gold price is heading lower for now. The daily chart is stopping kind of at this level. We were in our long trade and we capitalized on that one off this support area to the upside. The market seems, at least for now, ready to weaken somehow further. If you have positions and you need to secure them, say in the S&P 500, in other markets, you want to kind of capitalize and close those positions which beforehand made money, and that's gold, which is why quite often in the initial phase of a market correction, gold prices will start to weaken at some point. Guys, happy trading. Talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning in, and I wish you all the best. Next one up is Jim Rogers. It's going to be updated tonight. See you then. Bye.